CSGO is in its off-season and thus things have been pretty slow, but over the weekend we were given a morsel of content in the form of the 2022 HLTV Awards. And with some of the greatest across CS history in attendance, we got a pretty amazing show. There were a ton of fun and inspiring awards. Simple broke yet another record, and NA, guess what? They went home with a big fat goose egg, which is not surprising, but I mean, come on, they did us dirty. Let's talk about it. Okay, so before we get into the show itself, I feel that HLTV needs a bit of an explanation itself for those that are new to CS. In fact, I'm sure there's a ton of CSGO diehards who don't exactly know who they are or what exactly it is they do. Once standing for Half-Life, HLTV started as a website that held 1.6 demo files and IP addresses for pro matches. Eventually, it grew into a news forum for all things Counter-Strike, including analytics, news coverage, a podcast, and much, much more. However, it was their inclusion of in-depth CSGO analytics and their now infamous rating system that really changed the game for them. To this day, they're used as a resource for the most important CSGO statistics. Now, while all of that was going on, they also launched a list back in 2010. It was meant to highlight the best players of the year, and since then, there has been an annual iteration of the HLTV Top 20. But since the end of the 2022 season marked the 10th anniversary for the list, HLTV decided to do something special. With COVID restrictions lifted, HLTV pulled all the stops with a live, full audience award show where they invited pros from the last 10 years of CS to celebrate the game and receive awards in a ton of different categories. So, who were the big winners? Well, to start off, since this was the first big in-person show, they had to retroactively give players like GetRight the massive awards that they've won over the years. Once that was squared away, the full show started. So let me rapid fire some of these awards. Kicking things off was the Best 5 of the Year Awards, which was selected by a panel of 31 judges, mostly made up of CSGO pros. The idea was the panel would vote on and award the best player in a specific role on a standard CSGO team to then create a super team. And the winners were Nico for opener, Axel for closer, Perfecto for anchor, Simple for opper, and Kerrigan for IGL. Oh, and I guess Blade for Coach of the Year, which would technically make it the best 6 of the year. Why didn't they just do that? Anyway, those were CSGO's Best 5 of the year, and with it included some speeches. We got Perfecto shouting out his parents.
Just first of all say, it's thank you for my family who support me every day of my career. It's my mom and my father who know all maps now, all position.
And Axel getting surprisingly sentimental.
And remember, when you are resting, someone working and becoming better. I want to wish everyone to be proud of yourself in your life and make your dreams come true. Thank you.
Now, as I said, this was voted on by a panel of judges, which I actually think was pretty democratic. So yes, ZywOo didn't make Opper of the Year, but if you have a problem, take it up with the 17 pros who decided that. Now, moving on to the awards without a panel, things got a bit spicier and, well, up for debate. Starting off with the most controversial, Snacks presenting the Highlight of the Year, which was awarded to Monacy for his 1v4 clutch against MIBR.
Good little double for Bieri, and might as well have been a triple there. Monacy is in a lot of trouble. He no-scopes one of them. He keeps going. 10 seconds. He fakes the bomb, spins around, takes down Woody, and now he's at the HUD running up close and personal. Oh, what a flick! He doesn't have the time for the
Surely.
No, he
Just
can't
give
do
it
it,
to
I
him.
think. Oh!
Yes!
He doesn't have to move so much. Now, there is a Molotov on Turtle. He's going to throw it. It's not deep enough. Monacy still could have the shot. Oh, and there it is. One of the best clutches we've seen in a long, long time.
Now, I do get why this is special. Monacy is a literal teenager, and dropping a play like this in your debut is beyond incredible. But as people have pointed out online, it was against MIBR. No offense to them, they're a good team in their own right, but they're not FaZe. In comparison, Rops's ace clutch against G2 was in a match point situation which forced overtime and led to FaZe eventually winning. It was a clutch in the original sense of the word. Hell, if we're talking about plays with real impact, what about Twist's back-to-back silo plays to win Cologne? I know it wasn't technically a clutch, but come on. It was probably NA's only way of winning a award, and we lost it. So I can understand why people would be a bit jilted. Actually, while we're on the topic, Twist didn't even crack the top 10 this year. He was 11th. And the closest we got was Queserado at 9, which further proves my hypothesis that Brazil is the best country in NA. Now, you might be saying, Devin, you love Brazil. And yes, of course I do, but I'm also Canadian and therefore legally required to go to bat for Twists whenever necessary. That and I work with Dimitri. Imagine hearing him complain all day. Anyway, the rest of the awards weren't as controversial. m0NESY was also given Rookie of the Year for obvious reasons, Nigma and FaZe won Teams of the Year, and Anna was awarded Woman Player of the Year. But those final two awards were actually important for a few reasons. For starters, it's nice to finally see some mainstream recognition of women's CSGO. I even saw some debate online if other women were snubbed of awards, which is honestly fantastic. Over the last year, we've seen games like Valorant make a ton of progress in the name of representation, but recently CSGO has been lagging behind quite severely. I know it's not much, but an award is a step in the right direction.
Amount of struggles and tears and prejudice we had to overcome is, it's a lot, but we never give up because we have a bigger goal to achieve. And I really hope that one day we will see mixed teams where girls and boys are playing together, and we will do everything in our power to make this day closer.
Now, after all of those lovely awards, we finally got to the moment everyone was waiting for, HLTV's Player of the Year. As I mentioned, the top 20 list is what kicked everything off for HLTV way back when, and leading up to the show this year, they were slowly drip feeding their list, leaving only 3 to be announced in person. These were the results. In third place was Shiro, ZywOo was named runner-up, and in first place, HLTV's Player of the Year was awarded to... It was simple. It was obviously simple.
It goes to Simple.
As a result of this win, Simple became the first player in history to win the award 3 times, with coldzera, ZywOo, and GetRight all tied with 2. It was yet another record-breaking moment for the GOAT in a year filled with plenty of other accolades. But when in front of the mic, Simple explained that this year had been far from perfect.
I never understand people who had like depression or they had some sadness, and 300 days ago I actually felt this. I actually felt that I lost myself. I actually wanted to become better in 2022, and I wanted my team to become better, but the war happened. And it was very tough for me, and finally understand what means to be in some depressed situation. So it's pretty tough, but it feels like excuse, right? I mean, I feel like everything else is excuses. We can, all of you and me especially, we can be much stronger inside.
All in all, I think the award show was a success, at least from a viewer standpoint. I'm not the biggest award show guy out there, but it's nice to have something to celebrate CS at the end of the year. Hopefully HLTV continues to expand on this format and it becomes something that we actually look forward to every year. With that being said, what did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you even watch it? Do you think anyone got snubbed? And most importantly, who was your favorite player of the year? Let us know in the comments, please. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. To whoever's recording this, the intro will be at the end.
You're recording this.
Whoever's editing this, thank you. Oh, hello, Andrew. All right, everything looks good?